Hey Sagittarius, how's everybody doing? Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Some things could be going on right now that you feel a bit like disappointed about, or you feel a bit let down. For some of you, it could be one instance. For others of you, this can be kind of like the buildup of multiple things. And it's something that, like, because of the way you feel affected by this, it may actually be affecting your confidence a little bit. I'm definitely feeling like this is something I'm hearing trickling down. It's something that's going on psychologically for you. I think in relation to other people, maybe how certain people are showing up within your life. Let's see. For some of you too, this has to do with work. But if it's not your self-confidence, although it can be, it would be something related to your creativity. Like for some of you, you could be having some sort of creative block, but I'm getting that this is like maybe it's definitely because of your perception of stuff that's going on like outside of you. Work related. Yeah, for some of you, people are just like messing around while you're at work, and this is something I'm hearing detracting. It's something that, like, if you are taking your job very seriously, there's a sense of, or this can be responsibilities as well, but I see this for the most part as like us when we are at work, like trying to do the best that we can do when it comes to our job, taking care of our responsibilities, and working with the type of integrity that we strive to work with. Like that is what the King of Pentacles represents to me. It's somebody reliable, somebody consistent, somebody that's there to show up and get the work done, like all of that stuff. So this would be like the ideal person to be working with. It's somebody that, like a coworker that you would really be able to depend on, like somebody that's going to do the work. They're not trying to take shortcuts, stuff like this. It's a very like admirable role that is played, and it's somebody that is like meeting all of the marks. Now I'm seeing there could be people circulating within the environment, like whether this be people that you work with, and that can mean like peers, it can mean co-workers, it can mean clients, like whatever this is for you. This can be like classmates even for some of you. So like people are not on the same page as you are, and I'm seeing something even that you're taking quite seriously, and people are just messing around in the environment. This is what I'm getting the feeling of. And because you're taking your work seriously, this is something that can be having an effect on your mental health. So what are we going to do about it? Because this may be people too that, like, they're also not receptive and not ready to change yet. I almost feel like you understand the gravity of something, and you may feel like it's a rarity that other people around you understand the gravity of something that you're focused on. But this can even mean too, like within your life, you are very aware of the matrix and what's going on, and you feel like other people are very caught up in that, and because of that, you kind of feel like you're working differently, like you're moving differently than these other people. And that can feel lonely is what I'm hearing. So I think that there's a sense of like, even though you don't need the validation of anyone being like, you may still feel affected because there may be like a lack of support that you're feeling. It's almost like, say you make abstract art, okay? We're just using an example. and you like create this masterpiece, like you can know very much that this thing is like an actual masterpiece, but not everybody is able to appraise and understand that. And you may not be yet in a place where you're around people that have like the capacity to understand the type of art that you are creating. And right now it can just be like the public that's viewing it, and because they don't have the like training or that knowledge, or they haven't ascended to be able to like understand certain things, you may be feeling like disappointed by this, because there's a sense of like people not understanding the gravity of the work that you're doing. I was actually getting something specific. Hold on. It'll come back if it's meant to. For some of you, this is even a philosophical thing. It's like you have these, the like knowledge that you are dropping or whatever it is, like the philosophy, especially I mean with Sagittarian energy. Like Sagittarius is the philosopher of the zodiac. You may like have something even like knowledge based, or something that I'm hearing trying to imprint. It's like maybe a message that you're trying to get across, and it's like falling upon people that are not listening, not willing to listen, not like willing to open themselves up to listen. And I'm seeing that get discouraging, but don't let that discourage you. If you believe in the work that you are doing, at the end of the day, if you put the value into the quality of the work that you're doing rather than the recognition, like it's about doing the work, it's about doing good work, and it's about believing in what you do, rather than putting the value on like how many people notice it or like what people are saying about it, like regardless of the response. If you're doing important work, it's about doing important work. It's not about the validation of other people. Right? Because that's true mastery, to be doing what you do because you believe in it and because it's important to you and because you know you're in alignment in doing that. And it's not about the recognition or lack thereof. And that's going to help motivate you, because then you're not affected. It's like people can hate it or they can love it, and it's not going to affect what you're doing, because you know it's important and you know that's what you want to do, and that's all that matters for you. I'm hearing you're not looking at other people to weigh in, but that's also something that we have to learn how to do and like unlearn within our society too, because societally, a lot of us do feel the impression of other people and like what they're thinking and what they're saying. And as we live in a social society, that is something that we are geared towards. So it's something also that we have to unlearn. And I'm seeing something going on with like your job, your responsibilities, or maybe even this role that you are playing, and something that you're feeling kind of stuck in. And this can mean too feeling like, oh, like I don't want to disappoint anyone, I have to be doing this, this, and that. And this is about like asking yourself, do you like what you're doing? Do you feel good about it? Could you be taking on less? Could you be taking on more? What is this stuck feeling that's happening? What are you feeling anxious about? Looks like a change is coming. For some of you too, stuff that's going on within your personal life is also affecting you when it comes to your job and your personal responsibilities, I'm hearing. I'm looking at the Lovers and the Ace of Cups. Maybe you feel like you don't have time to balance both of these things. Or that, like, what I'm seeing more so is that career-wise, things are good for you, but like maybe in another area of your life you're struggling a bit. Like you could feel like your job or your career is going very, very well, but like maybe when it comes to your love life, not feeling like that, or maybe not feeling like you're finding the right person. Because it doesn't even seem like love isn't being offered to you. I'm seeing it be like you do have options around you, but maybe none of them are like actually what you're looking for. Let's get further. Hi-yo. If you hear chirping, it's O. O is my cat, for anybody new. She's chasing a fly around the house. Okay, so the Ace of Wands just slid up under the Eight of Swords. There may be opportunities coming for you, and you may not know what to do with that. Because maybe you feel very... Oh, this is reminding me a little bit of the Capricorn reading. It's like feeling very focused on work. And I remember like reading one of the comments and somebody was like, I'm very focused on my career. Love is a distraction. And I'm almost feeling like that. Like you could have opportunities that are being given to you, but for some reason, there's a sense of you, like rather than reaching towards these things, I'm seeing you kind of like, I'm hearing veer off. I'm seeing you kind of close yourself off to these things. Maybe even people that want to connect with you, but you don't want to connect with them. Maybe not in the way that they want to connect with you. You know the show Phineas and Ferb? It's a cartoon. I don't know what channel it's on. There's this little character on it. It's called Perry the Platypus. I don't even know if I've watched like a full episode of it, but it makes this funny little noise, and that's what O sounds like when she chirps at like birds and stuff. She's watching me talk about her. But yeah, has anybody else noticed that? It's so cute when they do that, like looking out the window, making the noises at the birds. Yeah, so it looks like you're waiting for the right opportunity to manifest, I'm hearing. Because I'm seeing, you know what you're looking for, but what has been offered to you, it may not have been this thing that you're looking for, this thing that you're wanting. So you are waiting for the right opportunity, especially when it comes to love. And that doesn't have to be romantic, although it can be. This is like this desire to want to connect and maybe have, like you may have relationships that you are connecting with people, but you may be looking for something a little bit different right now. But it's something that you're waiting on. It's something that still has not come through. Something that you still have not accepted into your life. But it may be hard right now because of that sense of waiting for this to come to fruition. But it seems also, Sagittarius, like you have a lot on your plate when it comes to your responsibilities. Like for some of you, you're even in the public eye. Now I'm also hearing private eye. Maybe some investigative work that some of you do. Yeah, for some of you, there's definitely something going on with being in the public and maybe feeling like you need to come off a certain way because of that, because a lot of eyes are on you. I'm seeing people be very, very curious. It's interesting too, like I'm seeing you be in the energy of the King of Pentacles. Whoever these people are that are curious about you, because this may be too, like, wondering what people are saying about you and how they're perceiving you and all of that stuff, and it's like people keep reaching out to you and talking to you. You see this? It's like people are very curious about you. They want to know things. They're trying to connect with you. They have like 21 questions for you. And it's like then they come through and they also are messaging you. But I'm seeing this again be something that you're not open to. Like I'm seeing it actually bothers you because of like maybe even a lack of privacy. As I said before, this feels like some of you can definitely be in the public eye or on some sort of platform, or it's like because of your career, like a lot of people are aware of you and who you are. Like your career may be something that naturally puts you in the spotlight. I'm hearing fame specifically. And like there's a notion of like feeling really in your head because of all of the prying eyes. I'm also hearing private eye again. And for some of you, I'm hearing something about love letters. It's like people are reaching out to you, wanting to know what's going on with you. I'm seeing this be more like I'm hearing a love request. It's like people want to connect with you, but as I said before, I'm not seeing any of these proposals, any of these people coming through. I'm not seeing you feel any connection with these people. Like the only connection I'm seeing is like people being interested in you, but I'm not seeing you be in a place where you're feeling any sort of connection. And I'm seeing you looking for something very, very specific. Sorry, oh, looks so cute. Looking for something very, very specific when it comes to love and a new opportunity for you. And it, like, you may be even getting frustrated too, because it's like, I'm looking for this thing and I have like all of these options, but none of them are the options that I want. And like things are somehow complicated because of your job. It like makes things more difficult. This is what I'm seeing. For some of you too, this can even be like coworkers that are very interested in what you're doing. It's like anybody that's trying to get in your business that you are not appreciating. Some of you may be actually creating like more of a defense or more of a barrier. Because people may be like stepping over the line a little bit, so you may be kind of, I'm hearing bulking up. It sounds like reinforcing like boundaries in some type of way. I'm seeing you keeping your career and like your public persona very separate from your personal life. And like even though whoever is observing you while you're at work, like I'm seeing this is where like the prying eyes are coming from. Like people being very inquisitive, sometimes even rude, I'm hearing. It's like maybe even people feel like entitled to know things about you because of your job, something like that, or like to make assumptions, but I'm seeing it be like more aggressive than that even. Sagittarius, like even sometimes inappropriate, but it's again because of your job. However, I'm seeing that like even though people are observing you like at work or within your public persona, they have no clue what's going on within your private life. And maybe that's also why you feel a lack of connection too, because it's like you don't have people maybe approaching you within your private life, but you're also getting like an overload of people like maybe within your career specifically, and that's like not the time nor the place for you to like be connecting with people. So there's definitely a sense of like something being out of touch. And like it's, I think too that whatever is going on in the workplace for you, like whoever these people are that are curious about you, there's this sense of like this is now creating some type of divide for you. It's creating some type of divide for you that is making you feel like even more distant maybe from the people that like you're working with or whoever these like onlookers are. Which is interesting because maybe I'm seeing like definitely a separation. I'm seeing the King of Pentacles feels very, very different than the Page of Swords. Like feeling like you're not really relating. It's like you're here to do business, you're here to do work, and it's like people just want to talk or gossip or like be asking questions that are beside the point. It's like maybe you're trying to do your work. I'm also hearing do business. And it's like people are talking about like your purple shirt that you're wearing. Or like how shiny your shoes are, and you're like, that's not what I came here to do. It's just people feeling very, very irrelevant, but I'm also hearing irreverent. I'm hearing with the comments, and now I'm hearing commentary. But I'm seeing these energies, like whoever this is that you're dealing with, like for some of you, you may have like a specific group even of coworkers that are kind of invasive. I'm seeing people be like very bold and like asking you questions. For some of you, people are even messaging you and stuff. Like not hesitating at all. Like also for some of you too, I'm seeing people be like very bold about shooting their shot too, like even in an uncomfortable type of way. I'm hearing inappropriate. So you may have somebody coming onto the scene that you are connecting with. This can be like a vision too of what it is that you want. I'm seeing these two people meeting one another. And I'm seeing there be a sense of like everything is very new. With both the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, it's like you haven't met this person in this lifetime, but you feel connected with them. There's a sense of like equality and reciprocity between the two of you. I'm hearing that is naturally occurring. It's like its own little relationship, the two of you guys, and how you're working together. Again, this is something very, very new. I'm also hearing precious. You have the opportunity to collaborate with this person. Regardless of the label that you put on this, like whether it be platonic or romantic or whatever, I'm seeing you get along very, very well with this person. Like you have automatic instant chemistry with them. And you also have the opportunity to like work with this person. I'm also hearing align. You have the opportunity to align with this person. But this is something that, like, even though the spark is there immediately, there's going to be, like, a growing and a shedding and all of that. It's like the transition that a relationship is going to undergo. And it looks to me, too, like, if you work through this and wait long enough, it's actually going to help you work on something else that you want to be working on, which is interesting. But I'm seeing this collaboration or this interaction be important. Just looking at Gemini. This may help you work through something from your past. That you hadn't completely like worked through or processed yet. And I'm not seeing that be the main goal. It just seems like that's also like an added benefit of you interacting with this person. So whoever these people are that are like very inquisitive about what you have going on, I'm seeing that like you're working on setting boundaries. It's like also working on like the anxiety or the stuck energy that you feel like when you get certain questions or have people like communicating with you being invasive. But to also do it in a professional way too. Because as I'm seeing this be related to your career, I'm seeing there's like a particular way that you want to go about this, which may be different than how you would go about this naturally, like if this were just within your personal life. There's like even maybe a reputation that you feel like you need to uphold. So it's like figuring out how you want to go about doing this. Because I'm seeing like people come through and like question you, message you, asking you questions, like trying to have a dialogue with you, but because they feel entitled to have a dialogue with you, and I'm seeing you working on getting in the place to shut this down. Like, I'm not seeing you be receptive to this at all. There's a notion of feeling like people are overstepping or that this is inappropriate, because I keep hearing the word entitled. And I'm seeing you too also protecting something within your private life. So this is also important for that too. And this can even mean like a relationship that you have that you want to keep private. So I'm hearing management, career management. Now I'm hearing agency. Yeah, it's like finding the line between... There's a sense of wanting to be receptive and say the right thing while not being like aggressive or mean. It's like wanting to respond in a way or set boundaries in a way where the desire is not for this to cause increased conflict, but to state your point. But that may be something that's beyond your control. It's like if you have people asking you things that you're not trying to answer, and you are like responding however you're responding, there's a sense of like wanting to be tactful. When you do this, and you're also going to need to understand that you can't control the way that somebody's going to react to that, because people may be a type of way if they're trying to get something from you and you're not willing to give it. So there may be like no way sometimes that you can deliver this in a way that won't be triggering to certain people, but it's very important for you to state your case is what I'm hearing. So it's like you need to say what you need to say and like advocate for yourself. Let's get one more and see. These are just people, it feels very much like these, whoever this is that's coming towards you, I'm just getting a notion like there being a lack of understanding and a lack of empathy for you and where you are. Although people may be assuming that they're seeing you, but I'm seeing a very huge projection onto you. But there's a sense of needing to set boundaries because I'm seeing something going on here where like you are absolutely meant to be protecting yourself from like the invasive energies. So you have to say what you need to say. And sometimes with the Queen of Swords, that means saying nothing at all. That means dismissing things. So you may not even feel the need to respond to everybody. I'm also hearing something about response time. This is too answering on the timeline that you feel comfortable with and not being pressured into giving a reply. at a time before you are ready to give one. Ooh, okay. I'm getting another message here. For some of you, you could have met somebody and you felt instantly drawn to them and you had a new beginning with this person, but there was some type of issue when it came to sharing emotions, and this could have been something that you brought up with this person. It's like there was some type of lack of intimacy, or you were on a different page when it came to like love and emotions, how you express that, love language, stuff like that. And you could have told this person like how you were feeling or what your expectations were, or your standards, and you may feel like this actually brought you into somewhat of a karmic situation. It seems like you could have had a perception that like your interaction with someone may have been a particular way and then it turned out to be something else, because I'm seeing something that starts off very smoothly but then it gets very rocky. And it's related to the Ace of Cups, so it's related to like love and what you're feeling, how you're feeling about yourself, your expectations. Calling out what your expectations are, but it seems like this can either be, this is an opportunity to work with an energy that may have a bit of a wall. So like whether this be a part of you, because like if you're working with this type of energy, this usually means that like one person may be like empathetic and the other person may be less so in an empathetic energy. So you may feel like there's kind of a duality between you and this person that you're working with, and you may be waiting on, for some of you, even like some type of help that you're going to get to help get you out of a situation that you have found yourself within. This is going to teach you about emotional boundaries and about trusting yourself and your intuition over anybody or anything else. And for some of you, this is like a romantic type of situation I'm seeing. But this is your opportunity to call out somebody's behavior, I'm seeing. Because it's somebody that you're working on setting boundaries, but you may feel conflicted about calling them out, but you need to call them out. This is your opportunity to work with these energies to figure out how to set boundaries properly for yourself. Like, this is an exercise that you're going through. This is like a karmic test, we can say. And by you stepping, like, you don't need anybody else to do this for you. If you do this, you are not going to need to rely on anybody else to do this for you, to be setting boundaries. Like, make sure to not to triangulate. This means that, like, if you are having a relationship with someone and there are issues with, like, how this person is showing up or what they're doing or how they're treating you or whatever, stuff that, like, you are meant to confront with this person, do not go like telling other people about it so they can do something about that or like validate what you're feeling. Meaning, okay, let's use an example. Triangulating would be like you're at work, right? And you are having issues with a coworker. Instead of you being like, you know what, I'm having issues with a coworker, I'm going to confront them and do what I need to do, you may be like going back to somebody within your personal life and creating a scenario where it's like, I'm the victim and I'm helpless and this person is harassing me, to the point where somebody's like, I'm gonna step up and take care of it. You know what I mean? So this is about you figuring something out for yourself. And I don't mean this in a way where, like, if you have like a therapist or some type of emotional support, by all means communicate with them, like if you need help problem solving. But I mean more so within your personal life. Like, make sure that you're not looking to somebody else to come in and swoop in and save the day. Make sure that if you are dealing with an energy that you feel needs to be confronted, that you're the one that does this, because this is your responsibility and this is a karmic test for you to be doing. And you're going to feel empowered through doing that. It's going to, I'm hearing you're going to earn something. There's something that you're going to earn, like even in a spiritual sense, by doing this. And if somebody were in this position and did not confront something that they needed to confront, that tells you too there's something going on in the throat chakra. There's a blockage there. Just FYI. I'm still just looking at Gemini here. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and this does feel like a very whole bunch of communication. For some of you, you are going to be ending a relationship with this person. Something that you're going to end and let go of. I'm hearing freeze and walk away from, because you're not getting what you need. But it didn't start off that way. I'm seeing this specifically. With this person, you may have not felt... You may have felt like you really met somebody that you got along with. But things definitely panned out in a different way. Like, I'm seeing it end... I'm hearing pandemonium. I'm seeing it end in some sort of way where it's like you don't really trust this person. You want to confront them, but I'm getting definitely like a cunning, sly type of energy that you're dealing with. So it may be harder to call them out because of how they twist things around. But yeah, just like say your piece. You don't need somebody to agree with you, you know? You can say how you're feeling, and that's valid. Even if somebody is like not willing to like agree with you, it's important that you know your truth and that you're not being like allowing yourself to be manipulated just because somebody doesn't agree with you. So if you've checked in with yourself and you know your truth, you stand strong in that. And it's time to set boundaries. For some of you too, you can be like, oh, well, we only just got things started, but it's like there's a red flag immediately. You need to get on this and address it. Because it's only going to get worse from there. It's only going to like get more karmic from there. So even for some of you, if this is the beginning and you're like, oh, it's too soon to call them out on that or to say that, what is too soon? You have to say something, or you're being guided to say something. You can actually do whatever you want, but I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing, what the guides are saying. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.